Alrighty, it's your boy Zxous, and we are back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. Now, before we begin, make sure you guys subscribe and like. If you guys want to join the Discord, links in the description. You want to follow my Twitch, links in the description. And if you want to support your boy by becoming a member, you can click the join button or the links in the description. And also, chat, there is going to be a giveaway happening for the rupee skin. Now, I don't know when it's gonna happen, obviously, because as of right now, from what I'm hearing, I guess Nikke is actually going to somewhat take action or something about it. Like, people are saying that Nikke, I didn't see anything about it, but people are saying Nikke is going to do something about the skins. So if they possibly do drop the pricing, then that's just even better, right? So we're going to see what happens with that. But there is going to be a giveaway for the, the rupee skin, just because I think there's a lot of like unnecessary like commotion going on about it right now. Like, obviously, we already talked about it and stuff like that, but some people are just dragging it. So your boy's gonna try doing a giveaway so we can have more light in the community right now. But yeah, today we're going to be ranking BLANC on the Burst 2 tier list. Now, one thing you have to also remember is that this is a solo character tier list, right? So I'm not going to actually include her or put her in a tier list based on how she performs with Noir. That's one thing that is going to happen. Now, in the overall tier list, I might make a tier with her and Noir together, like as one character. I don't know if that's fair. Definitely let me know in the comments if you guys would think that's fair for or not for a general tier list. But this is going to be an individual tier list and how well they are. So I have finally was able to test her in PvP. That's why I'm not doing this video. You guys will see that PvP video in due time. But let's talk about BLANC, because she's a pretty good character overall, I think. Right, so BLANC skill 1, Lucky Guard, activates after landing 120 normal attacks, creates a shield equivalent to 11.8% of the caster's max HP, which protects all allies from damage, lasts for 5 seconds. So it's essentially the same skill as what's her name, Senti, but Senti's is a shield that actually just automatically procs, right? So on the skill 2, creates a shield equivalent to literally less than half of BLANC's, right? Actually, BLANC's level 1, right? BLANC's shield on level 1 is actually higher than Senti's equivalent shield at level 10, which is crazy, right? Because BLANC's at level 1 is 6.9, Senti's at level 10 is 6.38. So it's a bit wild that at level 1, her shield in terms of the capacity is just better, right? But it's the same thing essentially, but Senti's goes off every 9 seconds. BLANC goes off every 120 normal attacks, which you could say is better or worse. A lot of people are saying it's better just because you can actually control it. I'm more of the automatic guy. I think Senti's was pretty good as well because it was like only every other like 3 seconds it wasn't there, or not every other 3 seconds, but it would be there, and then for like 3 to 4 seconds it wouldn't, and then it would be there again, and then like literally, right? I think that was so consistent. But there has been definitely times where I needed the shield to be up within that 3 to 4 second gap that it wasn't activated, and I definitely could have used it, right? Where when it comes to, right, what's her name, BLANC, I can actually control that. And there's also times when I'm using Senti, her shield is not even going off because nobody's really attacking her or anybody on the team, right? It is for 5 seconds. 5 seconds, if they're not attacking, then it's just there, right? I mean, it's protection at the end of the day, but if you can control it, then a lot of people will find that better. If you can't, people will find that worse. But in the circumstances that Senti's is in, I feel like it's fine either way. But I would say I do like BLANC's shield. I don't know if I'd say I like it better than Senti, but I do like that it has a way larger capacity, being 11.8%, because that's actually going to do something, right? At least against mobs, right? Senti's shield breaks to anything, realistically. This shield, you can actually tank damage, so it would actually act as like 2 shields, essentially, right? From mobs, right? Mobs touch Senti's shield, it breaks. Mobs touch her shield, it will go like down to like 5% left, and then if another enemy hits it, that becomes 2 protected damage, right? So you can really think of it like that if you want, but there's that as well. The second burst skill, skill 2, Rabbit Twin W. Affects after or activates after full burst ends, affects all allies, constantly recovers 3.68% of the caster's max HP for every 1 second for 5 seconds, and then also activates when full burst ends with an ally from the same squad on the battlefield. Affects self, cooldown of the burst skill is down by 40 seconds. Now this is the reason why I don't know if I want to rank her with Noir without, because I haven't even tested her with Noir, right? But like I said in the beginning, it is an individual tier list, so there's no reason for me to actually have to use Noir to rank her on the Burst 2 tier list, right? At the end of the day, if it was something like if Noir was a free-to-play character, or if, you know, they were just a dual character, right? Like two of them as one, then I feel like that would have been better. Maybe if it was just 20 seconds in general, it would have been better. But I can't really, like I said, it doesn't feel right for me to say, hey, let me rank BLANC with how she is with Noir, because it's like I have to summon for Noir, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just don't think that's a fair way to rank it, and I think maybe you guys will agree with me too. Definitely let me know. If a lot of you guys say that you know you would rank her with Noir or whatever, then I'll come back and revise this. But if not, which I think most of you guys would say, just because it's an individual tier list and a Burst 2 tier list, there's that, right? And then her burst skill, Showtime, affects all allies, constantly recovers 3.84% of the caster's max HP for every 1 second for 8 seconds. So that's not bad, right? That's not bad, because that's 24% HP being recovered, right? 25%, around that range. So that's not bad, right? 25% of your HP being recovered is not that bad, on top of, you know, the extra 15%, so that's a total of 40%. That's not bad actually, right? From the burst skill, or the second skill as well, right? Affects one ally with the lowest HP, gains indomitability for 10 seconds, which makes it that they cannot die, right? And then also increases their max HP by 31.68% for 10 seconds, which is also very good, because that's technically more healing as well, literally, right? If their HP is getting increased, then we're healing 40% of their max HP. Well, I guess it wouldn't really change anything, but technically it is more it's like healing, right? Because their HP is getting increased, right? And then affects all enemies damage taken by damn near 40% for 10 seconds, right? 39.26% for 10 seconds. So I do think she's a great character, right? Individually, I would say she's either an S or SS. Like, there's no question when it comes to this character with Noir, right, who is the other character, I would say she is the best burst 2 in the game, right? But for me, I don't think I could say she is the best burst 2 character in the game, because she doesn't have Noir, right? If she had the 20-second burst skill, she would easily be. But 60 seconds is something that's holding her, as an individual character, the 60 seconds is what's holding her back heavily. So I could say she's an SSS character. If anything, I would say high S, but I do think her kit individual, like her kit all around, is perfect. This is probably literally the best defender, probably best burst 2 in the game, right? Just in terms of the regular kit, right? Because if Senti is considered the best burst 2 right now, and BLANC has that, but like 10 times more, then obviously BLANC would just be better. But the problem is BLANC's burst skill is a 60-second cooldown, unless you have another character that you have to summon for. It would be a different story if it said an ally that was a defender, or an ally that was a attacker or a supporter, or an ally that was a burst 2 unit, right? That would be a different story, because then you have access to way more situations there. But because it's saying you have to have one specific character, that kind of forces you to summon for another character for her to get the best value, which would make her SS in my opinion, right? But I do think her kit all around is SS tier. I would say she is one of the best characters in the game for sure. She is very, very good. So yeah, I think for my tier list, I think, or the burst 2 tier list, I'm gonna put her in SS. Definitely let me know if you agree or not. Either way, I don't think she would be in the A tier. I think she would be in S. I think she'd be in SS. In terms of how useful she is for progression, not really gonna be all that. Okay, well, she's not gonna be like not useful, right? Because again, especially, I don't want to say it as much, but if you have Noir for progression, you're going to be able to spam that burst skill. The damage taken by 40% is going to be great for progression, right? Especially since you're going to be able to use it every time you're in a full burst, right? And it's to all enemies, where Novel, who has the same thing, I believe a 50%, is to one enemy. That's a very big difference. To control all enemies than one enemy is way, way better. So she actually could be quite useful for progression, right? In terms of obviously healing, you're going to have a healer, shield, damage increase, damage taken increase, right? Just as a support, she's a very good character, right, for progression. For bosses, very good as well. Again, she has a shield with the shield, she can create shields, indomitability, and she's still healing, and still she's a very good character all around. PvP, even now PvP she's nasty because she's a defender as well. With a character like Biscuit, this character becomes a problem, right? And then obviously if you have Noir, which we don't know because we haven't tested that yet, but I'm gonna assume with Noir it's just gonna be 10 times better, right? In PvP you're really not gonna be spamming the burst skill like that. PvP really you just use a burst skill once and then the match is done. And in PvP she's very nasty. The thing is, at her individually for progression, it will be good. Solo, she is a good character all around, but the 60 seconds is what hurts her. Against bosses, solo, she is good all around, but the 60 seconds is what hurts her, right? With Noir, it's a different story. But like I said multiple times in this video, I cannot rank her based on how she works with another specific character, right? If it was a burst one, like if it was like allies or supporters, attackers, defenders, that's a different story. Because you could run anybody on the team, right? Good or bad. But you have to literally run a whole nother character, a specific character that you have to summon for her to get the best value, which is what people are kind of upset about and stuff like that. But overall, I do think she is still an SS tier with Noir, without Noir, because she's still going to be very useful. The healing is still going to be there. The creating shields is still going to be there. And even still, even if you don't have her burst skill every 20 seconds like Senti's, Senti is a character that also is really just used for her shield and burst generation, which is better because obviously BLANC doesn't have that great burst generation. Another thing to note though, when using BLANC alone without Noir, you're forced to bring another 20-second burst 2 character. But if you are running her with Noir, then you don't need to bring another burst 2 character. So that's kind of nice there as well, because Noir herself is pretty good as well, right? So it really comes down to your team build there. But overall, I would say BLANC is an SS tier unit. So definitely let me know if you agree with me or if you don't agree with me. And yeah, I gave my reasons. Make sure you guys subscribe and like I said, for the giveaway, I'll have you guys updated on that stuff in my community tab, so stay tuned. And yeah, it's gonna be your boy Zxous. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out later. Peace.